guys, so I think I am finally ready to start travel journaling my Oregon trip, and I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie, it's been about 2 weeks since we've been home, so I have my phone with me and I can check the dates and anything. I don't usually care about it being chronological, but I'm gonna be working in my traveler's notebook, which I have a video on how I set this up for my trip. And then during the trip, I didn't do any journaling at all, kind of bad. And I've been procrastinating it because we had like a huge bummer where our truck got broken into and some stuff got stolen. So I just haven't like processed that yet. But I'm ready to process it today and journal a little bit. So I just shoved everything in my little suitcase in this front pocket. And I'm just gonna pull it out and start going through it and start journaling with it. I seriously collected everything, and that's what I would suggest if you are travel journaling, because you'll never know what you're gonna use. I'll probably throw away most of this, but you just want to try and collect as much stuff as you can so you have a bunch of stuff to work with. Alright, let's get started. Okay, that took a second. Luckily, I have a cup of coffee here, but I divided everything kind of into categories. So this is stuff from like papers from either the hotel or restaurants that we went to. I saved this water bottle because it has this like sticker on it from the hotel. So I'm gonna try and get that off somehow. I don't know. Little pieces, pieces from the hotel, so like room cards and like pieces of paper, coasters from places that we went, and then receipts. And probably the best resource I would say for travel journaling is all of these like free magazines or like newspapers, maps, pamphlets that you get like on your travels. So I always pick these up, and they have great pictures and they're local to where you're going or where you are. So they're perfect. So I'm gonna probably use this one because we did the Oregon Coast Drive, and these are just beautiful pictures. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just gonna get started. I have all of my stuff kind of sprawled out outside of camera, and I'm just gonna be pulling little pieces that kind of go with the trip. I started chronologically-ish. It doesn't really matter that much. I usually just take like little bits and pieces and put them onto a page, so it doesn't matter if it's like 100% chronological as long as all the memories are there. So I have this little post-it note that I got at the first hotel that we stayed at. That was how they gave us our room number. Like, it was such a sketchy hotel. But it was really nice. It was right on the ocean, so I couldn't really complain, and it was just wonderful to be out of town and to be finally in Oregon. I love Oregon so much. It was kind of a bummer because on the way up there, I was playing with the GoPro and I accidentally threw it at my face and ended up with a busted nose. I had a scar on my nose for the whole entire trip. And it was like, when I first did it, it was like bleeding down my nose. It was awful. We stopped at a a rest stop, and my boyfriend just looks over at me, he's like, "You're bleeding," and there was like blood running down my nose. I had a scab for the whole entire trip, and I still have a scar there. So the GoPros are tough. It sucked. And then I also got some Ferrero Rocher chocolates as a Christmas present, so they made a nice little road trip snack. That's what I love about road trips, is you just get to snack and look out the window at the beautiful surroundings. So I kind of did a little bit of notes here and there, and then I used Happy Planner stickers for a lot of what I do today. I think they're just really versatile and fun. So I tried to add as many Happy Planner stickers as I could. This was over Christmas, so that's why it's a Christmas theme. But I tried to do kind of like travel Christmas, but it really kind of depends on all of the ephemera that you collect. So you could see I was working with a lot, and I also have my map squares, so that's kind of what I started, and I tried not to pull too many supplies just to make it easy on myself. I was gonna try and pull up that coaster, but I decided against it. Instead, I'm just gonna put this map right underneath it. I love maps. That's why I sell map squares in my Etsy. So I was totally excited when I saw all of these like map pamphlets that you can just pick up. And I pick up a lot of these like newspapers or pamphlets or magazines, either at hotels or restaurants that we go to. Usually they're by the door, so it gives you kind of an idea of the area. And most of the time I throw most of it away, but I do cut out some things here and there, and I think it's nice because it's professional photos or like professional ads that you can just add to your book. You don't have to worry about your photos that you took in the restaurant if it's like super dimly lit, not the best photos. So that's why I just like having the stuff out of the magazines or out of the newspapers, because you get the logo and a nice picture most of the time, and all you have to do is cut it out. So that's how I travel journal. And then I just kind of mix in receipts or little pieces of garbage that I save. I swear I am like such a hoarder. So I'm glad I can have these journals to document all of my memories in, and I don't feel like such a hoarder, because like James says, it's not hoarding if it ends up in a journal, right? So I'm trying to use all of these little stickers, like these word stickers, because I cleaned out my craft supplies, but I don't really use word stickers anymore, so I thought I would give them a try. I'm gonna use them on a few pages here and there, but seriously, I have so many word stickers that I need to find some sort of fun project that I can use up a lot of word stickers on. And then I also have these old kind of stamps, but they're not real stamps, but they have these really pretty animals on them with like a red border, and I thought they looked so Christmassy, so I sprinkle them in here and there. I love stamps because they remind me of like travel and postage and patches, kind of. So I try and stick them in here, there, and everywhere, like a cute little raccoon. It's so cute. This was a little bit too big, so I was trying to find the best way to include it in my journal. This is just a standard traveler's notebook sized, so I think it's 8.5 inches by 4.25, something like that. And so it's kind of tricky to get stuff to fit right. So all I did was just cut it down and then tried to put it, I puzzled it onto the page. It's just like journaling Tetris. That's kind of what I call it. I just find a spot for it. I did have this note paper stuck down already because I got that from my grandma. So I was gonna do some journaling on those lines, but I ended up covering most of it up. I still wanted to see like the little Christmas baubles, so I left that, and it reminds me of my grandma. And then that Santa card inside, it also has a little piece, like a little ticket from, I think, my aunt or my grandma, but still, I love it. I love that my book just has like so many memories and happiness. I can go back and look through it and just be reminded of like special little gifts that I was given or special memories. So I cut out this picture of a bridge. Oregon has the coolest bridges. So I think this is the bridge that is next to the Rogue River Brewery, which was perfect because I just put the picture underneath the little taster bottle sheet, whatever it's called, and did a little bit of journaling on those lines from that piece of paper that my grandma gave me. And then on the bottom, it's a little bit blank, so I'm gonna play around with a few things. I was gonna put this stamp down there because it was actually Christmas Eve on that day, and it was gorgeous. Like, the sun was out, it was beautiful. I can't believe we've had perfect weather like every single time we've gone to Oregon. It's been amazing. So I just stamped in that top left corner, and then in that top right corner, I added just a little teeny scrap of paper from one of the breweries we went to. It was kind of interesting because they had a lot of honey and what's it called? Mead, I think that's what it is when it's made out of honey. I don't know, something like that. There was a lot of bees, so it reminds me of that brewery, even though I wasn't crazy about their beer or their mead, whatever it is. I don't know. I was crazy about this seafood place. I think this was in Portland. It was Christmas Eve and we went and had oysters and it was delicious. So I had to include the business card because it was really kind of striking. I like their business card. It goes with like the black and white contrast. And then I made it flip so that you could see the back of the business card where all of the information was. And then I did some journaling on the bottom because the oysters were so good. So yummy, y'all. And they had really good cocktails also, which is amazing. I tried to add more stickers, but I think I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, so I'm just gonna add like a washi sample just to like fill up that space. So this is the point in our trip where our truck got broken into and some stuff got stolen. So I'm gonna take a quick little snack break and have this little steamed bun, and then we can proceed with the journaling. And we are back. This was seriously like a marathon craft session. We were gone for I think about a week. So I had collected a good amount of stuff and I was kind of determined to finish this insert because I thought I was going to be able to finish it. I probably still could if I just did a lot of big pictures on the last few pages. Right now I think there's about 3 pages left. I'm so close to finishing it. I love finishing journals. I will do a flip through whenever that eventually gets done. I think I go on a little bit of a tangent here because my tiny attacher got stuck. So I just had to get the staple out of there and refill it. I love my tiny attacher so much that I did want to take the time and make sure it was working properly. And I just, I really appreciated this letter that they left in our hotel room because it was Christmas Eve and they were kind of short-staffed because, you know, they want to try and give as many people time with their families as possible. And I just, I thought the letter that they left in the room was really nice. So I put the whole thing in there. And then I added a little piece of paper, like the little notepads that they leave you in the hotel room by the phones. I usually take at least a few sheets of those and add it to my journals, and because it has the hotel name on top of it. So I think that's really nice. So I taped that in and I just stuck a bunch of stuff on there, like the wrapper from some snacks that they gave us when we checked in, just like little things like that made the experience a lot nicer. I tried to write "I hate Portland," but I didn't space it out correctly, so I'm gonna have to cover it up. I think I use a map square and some washi tape. Yeah, we did not have a good experience in Portland. The Residence Inn was awesome. And then we went to dinner, which was amazing, amazing oysters, and we went to a bar afterwards and the service was horrible. Like I said, it was Christmas Eve, so I can kind of understand, but the service was so bad and it was just really kind of dirty and gross, and then our truck got broken into, so I just did not enjoy myself in Portland. It was kind of our fault, like we were there Christmas Eve and Christmas, so everything was closed. The only people that were out were all of the tweakers, and you can kind of really see how dirty the city was when no one else is out in the city, just the tweakers. So it was kind of bad timing, and in hindsight, I'll just go on a cruise next time. Next vacation is a cruise. I don't really feel like doing a road trip right now. I'm still kind of bitter, still bummed about it. So that's kind of, I think, why I was delaying or procrastinating doing this journaling. But I did kind of already vent and just word vomit in one of my other journals. I think I shared it on Patreon inside my sketchbook, and I talk about it a little bit more in that journal. So I got out all the word vomit, but I wasn't ready to process all of the stuff, especially the stuff from Portland, like where it happened. Because I know it's just stuff, it just was such a bummer on Christmas Day to have a busted window. Nothing's open, so we just had to deal with it all day. And it was just like a constant reminder that somebody had violated like our privacy, like our truck, and it just sucked. The super bummer was that they took some sentimental stuff, which is why it's been so hard to process. So, but now the whole thing is behind us and I've processed it. I've processed all of this stuff from our trip, and there's nothing I can really do about it anymore. So it was a learning experience. I feel like traveling always is. So it's something we can look back on, and it's in my journal. I've processed it. You know, it's a bummer, but stuff like that happens. So I'm just gonna keep on journaling. Our next stop was Bend. It was gorgeous. It was snowing while sunny. It was absolutely perfect weather. I love Bend. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful city, and it seems like everyone there is like super outdoorsy and pretty cool. So I really enjoyed our time in Bend. I wish we would have gotten to spend more time there, but we did get to go to a few breweries. I included this pamphlet from the Bend Ale Trail. We didn't get to do that many breweries just because we were both still kind of bummed. Like, it put a huge damper on our trip, but we kept going. We wanted to continue our vacation. So we did go to Crux, which is amazing. I really like their beer, and it seemed like they had like renovated their place. So it was kind of cool to go back after like a year and see it. And their food was really good. They had like a s'mores dessert, cast iron, delicious dessert, and I had it and it was delicious. So I just kind of kept stuff from the restaurants and picked up things here and there, added some washi tape, and I call it good. And I also wanted to add like this little pocket just so I can hold like the little miscellaneous things that I collected on our trip, and then do a little bit of journaling about Bend. I kind of like to have the big pieces of journaling hidden, so on like little tuck spots or journaling cards, kind of something like that, so I don't have to read it. And I don't have the neatest handwriting, so being able to like tuck it into a pocket where you don't have to see it is pretty helpful. This is from the pamphlet, and it has these really cool little descriptions about the breweries. So I just cut out, I think, a few of them that we went to. We didn't have time to go to that many, but we did get to check out this Boneyard Brewery? Boneyard Brew. I'm not sure. We went there last time, but they opened up this cool restaurant, so it was kind of nice to be able to see them like expanding and growing. It was cool to see them in their new spot. So I just put that in there, and they have good food now. It's like, I don't know, it's really good. It's like Asian Mexican bar food. It's delicious. And I wanted to add more of these little stamp things because I didn't have much to say about the breweries. We had been to both of these before. It was just kind of cool to go back. So I added some of these like stamps, but they're like nature stamps, and that's what I love most about Oregon. And that's kind of what we did most of the time, was just kind of explore the different parts and like the forests and we didn't get to do too many trails this time because it was December, so even though we had beautiful weather, we did a lot of driving, not like a lot of hiking and stuff. So I added some washi tape and just went with it. I love washi tape. I think it's like the easiest way to decorate your pages. This was just like the little taster sheet that you get at one of the breweries, and I thought all of the beer names were kind of funny, so I included it. I did have to trim it down a little bit, but I still think you can see like all the funny names, so I kept it. And now I'm just kind of playing with different layers, layering map squares and washi tapes and like little die cuts and little pieces that I've gotten in Happy Mail from my pen pals. So I try and include all that because it just makes me happy to see the stuff that they sent me in my journals. It just brings like more meaning to what I'm writing about. So I just had to write perfect weather because it was perfect. We went to this park and there's this mirror pond and it was just gorgeous, gorgeous weather. It had just snowed, everything was beautiful, and the sun was out. Like, we just had perfect weather the whole time we were there. It was amazing. So after we left Bend, we went to Eugene, and that was kind of another bummer on the trip because I had ordered this special cheesecake for my boyfriend because he's been talking about it for like 2 years now, as long as we've been together, about this like Christmas New York cheesecake. So I had it delivered to the hotel. I paid for the shipping to have it delivered on a certain day, and it was late. And we were only there for one night, so we ended up missing the shipment and yeah, missed the cheesecake completely. I would have had to pay to get it shipped home all the way from Oregon, and the FedEx or the UPS, they wouldn't have picked it up for like a week. It would have been a week late, at least a week late. Because of like the holidays, Christmas, and then New Year's, it was just a disaster. So I ordered this really nice cheesecake and we didn't get it at all. It was just such a bummer. Like, this trip was not everything I wanted it to be. But it's okay. Like I said, it was still a really nice time with my boyfriend and I. It was just kind of a bummer. I don't know what to say. I was really happy to get home, but it did take me a little bit of time to process everything. So I think our last day, we went back to California. It was really nice. Like, we were both ready to kind of get out of Oregon, head back home. So what we did is drive completely out of the way. When I planned this, I didn't really notice it, or I didn't think about how much longer it takes taking Highway 101 because it's like so curvy, or Highway 1, I can't remember what it is, but it takes so much longer. So I planned for a day at Fort Bragg. I thought it would be about halfway home, but it ended up not being halfway home. So it was just a really long day of driving. We didn't get in until super late. Kind of a reason is we stopped and watched the sunset over the ocean. It was beautiful. Like, we tried to make the best of our trip. It was just, I don't know, it was just a bummer. But we made the best of it. So we got to Fort Bragg super late. Like, the hotel was almost closed by the time we got there. There was nothing to eat, so we had to stop at Taco Bell, which I hate, but our room was like right on the water. It was amazing, like literally right on the water. I woke up early the next morning and didn't get any sleep. I have a real problem with sleeping. So I watched all of the boats go out in the morning. It was amazing, like before the sun came up. And then the sun came up and the otters and the seals or sea lions came out. It was just so cool. Like, our place was right on the water. So that was kind of nice. And we just hung out in Fort Bragg for that day. Had some food and some beer, and we walked around the harbor where our hotel was and had fish and chips, and it was delicious. And we sat right on the water and ate lunch. It was so much fun. So I included some stuff from the harbor. This was one of the other kind of like tourist travel magazines. I just cut out this picture of Fort Bragg. I think we did go to this beach, like Glass Beach, I think it's called, in Fort Bragg. We tried to go out there. There was a lot of people, of course, but it was really pretty. It was a gorgeous day. So I included that picture and some washi tape. I used up 2 rolls of washi tape in this video, which I think is kind of an accomplishment. I don't know if y'all have a lot of washi tape, but I do. So it's always kind of exciting when I use up a roll. Usually kind of sad because it's obviously a washi tape that I was enjoying using. So I'm sad I don't have any more of that polka dot, but I've had it in my stash forever. So now I can replace it with a new washi tape, right? That's how it works. I just cut out a bunch of pictures from that tourist magazine. It was gorgeous and it looked exactly how it did on the day we were there, so it was perfect. And I didn't have to take any pictures or print any pictures. I just had to cut them out of the magazine. So it was really nice. I just did a little note saying fish and chips because it was so delicious. It was like greasy and fresh fish. It was delicious. I loved it. So I think this is going to be one of the last pages. I'm really trying to finish up this journal, but I ran out of room on my SD card, so I don't end up finishing it. But this last page, I just did kind of this whole Oregon coastline, which is pretty much what we did, like our trip. I also added another picture from Fort Bragg and then another little map from my favorite part of the Oregon coast, which is like Reedsport to Gold Beach, like kind of that area, and then along the Umpqua River. Like that's my favorite part of Oregon, and I just had to include that section of map in my journal. So I love maps, that's why I have map squares. And then I added some of these quote stickers, which I absolutely love, from the Happy Planner stickers. They're just amazing, and they finished off the page perfectly, and that's all I really do for this video. So I'm just gonna add a few more stickers and then I'll flip through each page to show you a closer look. Okay, I think that's the last thing I'm gonna do today. I feel like I did a lot of pages. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm just gonna flip through these really fast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I feel so much better now that I've got all of this stuff in my journal. I've processed it. Now I can go back and look at all like the happy memories, and it's so much fun to look back and see everything and use all of that stuff that I collected while I was on the trip. Yes, so much fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this video. It was kind of a long one, so thank you. And if you want to see kind of more of my content, I do have a Patreon. It's set up a little bit different than most creatives. It's just a tip jar, so you can pledge any amount that you would like, and you just get access to more of my content. So I will have that link in the description and at the end of the video if you guys want to check it out. I really am excited to travel a lot more this year, so I will probably have more Traveler's Notebook videos soon, very soon. So leave me like a thumbs up or a comment if you liked this video. I'd love to do more videos like this. I will go back in and do like journaling and stuff, but it might be a little bit more private, or just I don't want to worry about what I write on the internet. So I'll do that afterwards, but I wanted to show you guys the decorating part because that's the fun part, really. And I got to use some of these stickers. I love it. And a lot of these stamps. Love it. So much fun. And now there's only a few pages left, so I will probably be doing a flip through of this insert pretty soon. So make sure you are subscribed if you want to see that video. And again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and travel journaling with me today. I will see you guys in the next video.